Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm opening a Miniverse Make It Mini treats. This should be the PEZ dispenser. There are pencil marks if you look for the little trash can. This one has one right off to the side where it says FR, so it should be the PEZ machine, which is one of the ones I want to see the most. So let's hope it's inside. The capsule's pink and kind of looks like a vending machine on the inside. Oh my gosh, it is. I'm so excited. So these open. This also opens, but there's nothing in it. And then you have this one down here that pulls out for all your little goodies. And then you could display it in here or use it however you'd like. It's really cute though. I like that they did that. Oh my gosh. So we're going to be pouring the PEZ. Oh no. Oh no, we're wrapping something. We're going to be making, I guess, some to go in the containers and then also like the sticks of them. That's concerning. And then surprisingly, they gave us 3 different PEZ dispensers. I thought they would just give us one and have us make the candy. Because I kind of don't want to open all of them because they're so cute in the packaging. But I will pick one to open so we can load it with the actual PEZ. Don't know which one yet though. Maybe that blue one in the middle. He's super cute. And then, okay, so we have yellow. Oh man, and we have the dye stuff. My excitement is fading. It did give us a stir stick though. So we have some pink. Did that leak everywhere? Oh yeah, sure did. We got shimmery mica. We got pink and yellow. And it's all over my hand, but that's okay. We're sparkly. Okay, did they give us 2 trays? That was kind. That way it doesn't take as long to do them. If we can do them. No, no, that wasn't kind. It's, wow, those are itty bitty. I feel like I'm having flashbacks when we made the jelly beans. That was awful. I think though, because this is a nice little rectangle, it won't be as bad as those jelly beans. Because the jelly beans, like say the mold is like this, the opening was like shorter, so it was more difficult. Yeah, let me clean up and we'll look at the instructions. Looking at the instructions, we can see that we can make pink, yellow, and then combine the 2 to make orange. So that's pretty cool. Make 3 different flavors. So you're gonna add that mica in here, kind of swirl it around, then add the resin, and you can mix it with like a toothpick or whatever you want to use. 5 to 10 minutes to cure it, and then you pop them out. I love when they use this little guy. He's like, look at this. So if there's any over pour, you can break that off. So it's a nice clean piece of PEZ. Very relieved when I saw this. Looks like the inside of wrappers have a strip you pull off, so there's like tape. And then you could stack 12 of them, so they're stuck there. Then you fold in the side, fold in the other side, wrap it up. And then the outer wrapper also has one of those pieces of tape to seal it. I feel a lot better about that situation now that I've seen that, because I was wondering how that was gonna go and just knowing I wouldn't be able to do that. And then you can put 10 in one of these machines, and then it should function like an actual PEZ machine. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now this series does have the pencil code, so I know I have this one, the Tootsie Roll, the Peep, I think the drink, and the cupcakes possibly. I didn't go for the popsicles because those don't excite me, or the ICEE, but I do have the Twizzler cake, and we already did the ring pops. Still need to find a few more of these that I want to see, but let's get to making this. I'm going to start probably just with basic yellow. So we're going to open this. And I will use the tool they gave me to put the resin in there, or not the resin, the mica. And then I'm going to use a toothpick to swirl the resin. They didn't fill this up all the way, but we probably won't need much, I wouldn't think. I'm just going to kind of dust some in each little area. You can probably just wait to add the resin to mix it. You probably don't need to pre-mix it, but hard to tell how much we're gonna need. And again, these little molds are very tiny, the cavities for them. I feel like we're gonna have different shades of yellow, and this is going to be quite a time-consuming project. I wonder if you could mix all this like in bulk. I guess that would be hard to do too, because again, small cavity, but it's also, as you can see, super messy because you get the mica everywhere. So, I'm just gonna smear it over the top. Some of them have way more than others, but we'll see what it looks like when we put the resin in there. Maybe it'll fix itself. Okay. You're gonna need like the smallest, as I say that it comes flying out, the smallest amount in each little hole. I would think air bubbles would be pretty minimal. You can let it set out a bit if you want. You can also spray it with rubbing alcohol. That also pops them instantly if they come to the surface. So let's add that. Get my toothpick, and we will give these a stir. And then you're gonna wanna look at them kind of eye level across to make sure they're filled up all the way. If you overfill them, they won't lay flat. So just keep all that in mind. If one's a little too full, just take a dot out and move it to the other one. Mix, mix, mix. And then you'll have to repeat this like, I don't know how many times. At least probably 6, I would imagine. Because they gave us wrappers, and then you could also fill the machines. So pretty many. Once I feel like these are mixed and the colors look even and they're as yellow as I want them to be, I will cure them. Probably about 5 minutes, flip over the mold, cure it again. I kind of like to over cure stuff. And then I'll be back to pop them out and see what they look like. I know they're going to be adorable. I have faith in that. The ones in the center look a little more yellow. I topped them off and stirred them. They're ready to cure, fingers crossed. Okay, let's take these bad boys out. Hopefully they pop out fairly easy. Oh my gosh. They're amazing. Look how cute they are. And yeah, there's a little overhang of resin on some of them, I'm sure, but you can just rip it off like that. If you can grip it, because they are very tiny. I can't get over this. This is so cute. So we have to clean these up and repeat this process. Let's see. So you have to do like a full tray. I think it says 12, was that right? Fits in a wrapper. So that's a full tray of these. And then 10 fit inside the PEZ machine itself. So lots of resin to make a bajillion. I have also tons of mica, so I can make different colors if I wanted. For now, I'll just stick with this, but I might make some tiny PEZ for Raylan. You can kind of tell the color difference, but not too bad. They look pretty good. And just to bring you in closer, that's what they look like. You can see where it says PEZ on them if they're flipped the right way. Very cute. We're doing pink next, and then I'll probably show mixing the colors just briefly, because I'm sure you don't want to watch me do this 12,000 times. I would be bored by that. I have a pretty short attention span. So I'm going to add mica into each of these little spots and repeat the process where I add the resin, mix it till I get the color I like, and then cure it and pop them out. These are mixed and full and how I like them. There's a couple tiny bubbles in this one. You probably can't even see it on camera even if I zoomed in. So I just have some rubbing alcohol in a little spritzer. You just spritz the top and it will burst them almost immediately. Now I can cure them. Here are some of the pinks. And now I'm gonna mix the yellow and the pink to make orange. The good news is these don't take long to cure, but the bad news is it's a long process when you have to keep repeating it. And I keep spilling all this stuff. I would have much rather them gave us little tiny bottles of the colored resin than to do this. But I also know that like a lot of people like building more of it or feel like you're creating more of it. So I know that this would be fun to a lot of people. I guess it's hard for me because I almost feel like rushed because I'm filming it. If that makes any sense. I feel like I can't leisurely do this because I gotta film it and make sure I recorded the things I wanted to show, and it's a whole process for me. Okay. Wipe that off a little, go back and add, I guess, equal parts of the yellow. We don't really know what we're doing. We're not going to know until we add that resin in and try mixing it. But I like now it kind of is giving like PEEP vibes. We have the yellow, the pink. Whoa, we're making quite the mess too. That's okay. I'm gonna rub it across there at this point. Who cares? So this was all yellow. This was all pink. This was like half pink, half yellow. As you can see, they're not really orange. And then I did a more yellow with a slight bit of pink. And again, still not really orange. So I think I'm gonna give up on the orange and just make solid yellow, solid purple, and then I'll wrap those up because you won't be able to see them anyways. But yeah, I'll pick out my favorite ones, the most pigmented ones, and put them in the PEZ machine. So I'm gonna finish making a bunch of these, then we're gonna wrap some, put them in the machine. Okay, so an entire bottle of resin it came with made 10.5 trays. So I ran out doing this one. And then this really light pink, I ended up having some of this from something else I recently made. So it made that shade without mixing any mica with it. So that's pretty too. Anything that hangs over, you can literally just like take your nail and scrape it off if you overfill it. So it's super easy. So I'm gonna open one of these and we're gonna fill the PEZ machine and then we'll wrap some and we'll see how many wrappers it comes with and all that fun stuff. I hate to open this because the packaging is so cute, but we obviously have to see what it looks like inside the PEZ machine. This is my favorite of the three. And it does say PEZ on the side. Pulls out, does it stick though? Not really. You know how like some PEZ machines when you pull them out they're supposed to stay open? It doesn't appear it does. I don't want to be too forceful with it. Let's see, what color should I put in here? I'm going to pick out the more perfect looking ones that don't have air bubbles. Some of the air bubbles were at the bottom of the mold where you couldn't see it. So there are, like this one for example. This one for example, you can see there's that little spot in the corner. That was an air bubble on the bottom side of the PEZ mold. According to the sheet, a PEZ machine holds 10 of them. So I picked out 10 of what I consider perfect looking ones and we're going to fill the PEZ machine. And then we'll see if it functions, oh no, like a real PEZ machine where they come out. Can be a little challenging to grab them because they are tiny and I'm like squeezing the side of it too. Wonder if it's easier to put them in there. They're so bitty. I feel like once I put them in there, I'm never gonna touch it. I don't want them to have to fight with this every time. If you don't have little precision tweezers, highly recommend them. The set that I'm using, I think it came with like 3 or 4. Some of them are real pokey, but this one that I'm using now with the blunt ends, those are probably my favorite. That way they don't damage anything, they're rounded. I didn't fill it up all the way, but oh my god, yes, it works. It sticks it out and pushes it out just a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Let's see if we can cram it back in there. Oh no, did I break it? Okay, no. Felt extra loose for some reason. But it's not full, so I'm going to finish filling it. They do go in pretty nicely. Once it's completely filled up, it doesn't have like that, what you call it, the bounciness to it, which is kind of nice because then you can display them, or you know, it's easier to see them in there without holding the tension where you feel like you're going to break it. But let's see how many wrappers. I would think there's one of each color, but we'll see. This part might take a little bit to do. We have, yep, a pink, yellow, and orange. And then we have these inner wrappers. Okay, those are a lot bigger. Let's do a yellow first. And I'll probably use my not pretty yellow ones, you know, the ones with air bubbles, because they're going to stay wrapped. It doesn't matter what they look like in here. So maybe even like the light ones over here. Now with these wrappers, it holds 12. So count out 12, and then we're going to remove this sticker and stick them on it. I have my 12 imperfect ones picked out. Remove that piece, and then we're going to put them all on their sides, facing, I guess it doesn't matter what direction it's facing, but I'm going to face them all the same way. This part's going to take a while, especially because I'm going to try to make them real straight and nice, and then I'll come back when I'm done. That was low-key a little difficult. The most difficult thing is like trying to make them straight. I feel like that's as straight as I can get them. I was trying to kind of use this and squish them down. It's mainly like these first couple ones. And you can kind of move them a bit, but I think that's pretty good. Now it says to take these shorter sides and fold those up first on both sides. Okay. Then take the sides and lift those up. Like so. Something like that. Then we're going to take the yellow one. Where does the yellow one go? This one. This does have, it's hard to see, but it's right there. Sticker. And we're going to put that in the middle. And we're going to fold this side up, the non-sticker side. And then fold the sticker side down. It's not as tight as I wanted it to be, but again, camera in the middle of me, hard to do. That's cute though. I wonder if I could fix that, if it'll let me reseal it. Yeah, so the other one turned out a lot better when you don't have a camera in between you. I also find that it's kind of easier to do this, where you put it up on the side and then roll and then flip it the other way and do the same thing. Of course, that just came untucked. Kind of gives it like a tighter roll. And I did do the same thing when I did this next layer. I didn't put in the middle like it tells you. I started on this end and kind of just rolled it, making sure that it was tight, and then that sticker will grab it. Okay, that was a bad example. The orange one turned out good. But yeah, still cute. I had a blast making this set. It's probably going to be one of my favorite in the series. I already know that. That and the ring pops. But leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and stay tuned if you want to see more videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.